Well, I'll be. Kogane has better internet than my phone does. Before we open this review of chapter 158 of Jujutsu Kaisen, please do me a favor and leave your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit the little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and here we are to review chapter 158 of Jujutsu Kaisen, known as Kogane. I don't know why I said his name so honestly. He's a cool dude. But regardless of that, we open up the chapter immediately, and we finally get Hikari's reaction to learning that Gojo-sensei has in fact been sealed away. That man got locked up with the quickness. Well, not the quickness. That man was, honestly, when you think about it, that man was getting planned to be locked up since like chapter 1, pre-chapter 1. That man's a menace. However, he is locked up. Hold on, let me take a sip of water real quick. Welcome to That Guy with a Pencil, where you only have the best ASMR. But regardless of that, Hikari is super intrigued to see that Gojo has been sealed up, and that's for good reason. I do love, see, the thing is, I do have like an entire video written out for Gojo and how I think he's like one of the best implemented overpowered characters in an entire series, and I love how the series is essentially built around Gojo rather than Gojo being like forced to be built around the series. I think it's really, really great. And I love how that's shown here through Hikari's reaction. Hikari, a dude who seems pretty strong, is hyped up a lot, is still shocked that Gojo, the tip-top dog, has been sealed away. And I'm glad that he has that reaction because it feels really realistic to the world that, well, not necessarily the world, but the presence that Gojo has built up so far throughout the narrative. I'm super happy that it's like that. Then we get to see that the principal, once again, sort of gets his like underwhelming reaction. Well, no, not Yaga being dead is giving this sort of like passing thing, and to be fair, it makes sense because he wasn't much of a major character, much of to like really anybody. I'm not gonna lie, he showed up at the beginning of the series, had a little spur at the middle of the series, then he died. So I'm not shocked that the man didn't have that much of an emotional reaction. But it's kind of sad that Panda is just he's sort of just chilling, like whatever. Yeah, you know, he's dead. It'd be like that when it'd be like that sometimes. And I mean, I know why Panda isn't having a dramatic reaction, because we already got Panda's dramatic reaction all those chapters ago. It didn't hit me then, and I doubt it would hit me now anyway. So I'm glad, feel sad that Principal Yaga got done so dirty. However, the thing that we get to see is Hikari actually had deep ties to like both of these mentors, the one that's sealed and the one that's dead, because he actually apparently was the kind of student who would need help from these two, the principal and the strongest, because of how he was. And I can definitely see that by how he's been characterized so far. So he's definitely been a person who has always walked his own path, and I bet the two would respect that. And it's kind of sad that two of his leading figures, two of the people who probably helped make him into the person he is today, is sort of just begone from this world. Well, one's begone from this world, and the other's like kind of begone from this world. We gotta get a curse technique to get that boy free. Then we get to see that Hikari he could basically confirm the last chapter, but he 100% believes now, yes, don't worry, I will help you handle the culling game. And it's cool to see that. But the thing is, I also like how Hikari isn't like fully breaking character. Sure, he loves to help out people from the school, but at the same time, he's super interested in getting that bread, getting that hustler, running that bread up, if you will. And I'm happy to see that while Hikari does want a point of equivalent exchange, the moment he goes to roast Megumi, because Megumi's like, oh, well, I can help you get your stuff or whatever you want, it's not gonna be that difficult, and Megumi just says, I'm the head of the Zenin clan, by the way. You just get this look on Hikari's face. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, a dude that powerful sitting right here and he'll be in debt to me? That's free, that's easy, that's dog water, this is my world now. And then we have this hilarious, like, whew, he reminds me so much of Deuces Kim. Like, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name like Deuces Kim. I can't pronounce characters' names from out of high school. All right, leave me be. He reminds me so much of that character, especially with that face he makes here. But then we get to, and the thing that I thought about the moment Megumi said that when I was initially reading the chapter, I'm like, bro, by the time you even get any Zenin clan resources, they're all dead. And to be fair, I don't think Monkey was focused on getting any information out of them. So I feel like all the Zenin clan resources are kind of just gone now. I don't, that's kind of like one of the few short-sighted things that Monkey did by just listening to Mai and destroying it all. Like, the repercussions of this were definitely not thought out, like, at all. They just decided to rock with it because, you know, destroy everything. And I get that. They deserve to destroy everything considering what that clan did to them. But in the same breath, like, couldn't have kept one informant alive, one person, you know, could have gotten all the information out of them, all the values, all the riches, all the money to the, all the money to the bank account, all the numbers to the bank accounts. Like, a little short-sighted, but to be fair, it was in an act of passion, an act of emotional despair and fervor, so I get why she went on a full murder spree. But obviously this deal right now is being built upon false pretenses, not purposely on Megumi's end, but still, this whole world is a lie essentially to Akari. The idea that Megumi is actually going to be of any use is probably incorrect, except for when Megumi like becomes the strongest apparently, or one of the strongest. And then just as we see the group having settled their terms and all this stuff like that, like Akari's getting what he wanted, they're getting what they wanted, we do get to see someone pops up, and it's Kogane. And this thing is such a weird design. Like, I'm wondering, this chapter doesn't elaborate itself. Hold on, let me see. So players have access and name points added. Yeah, okay. So we don't necessarily know what spawned Kogane. It's just like a thing in the culling game. But that's such a weird design. Like, if Kenjaku himself made this thing, I'm just looking at Kenjaku like, really, broski? This is what it was, huh? Like, a floating skull with a weird mouth stacked on top of rocks with a heart tail and angel wings. I mean, do you, Kenjaku? I ain't gonna knock your hustle, bro. You've been around for thousands of years. Oh no, 1,000 years. So you probably have better design aspects and sensibilities than I do. So I'm gonna let it rock. But this thing looks so weird. But in the best way. I actually do enjoy its design, even if it does seem like just completely backwards in my mind. But then we get to see the new rule that's been added to the game. Players added a new rule, Rule 9. Players have access to everyone's information. And that's actually pretty interesting. And then we cut over to this other character who seems to be like, they just got done killing somebody, right? Like they're staring through the hole in that person's chest, and I'm like, wow, everyone's fodder, bro. And I understand the hustle, bro. Like, imagine being that. No, I do not understand the hustle. I'm nowhere near that strong. No way. But regardless of that, we get to see that this person is actually looking for Sukuna. And the interesting thing is, this brings up a question. Like, we know what Kenjaku said. Like, I was rereading the Shibuya arc recently, because I meant to just go reread something because I was planning to do a fight with Toji in it, and I just ended up rereading like a majority of the series because it's not that long right now, and sometimes I just get into one of those. I literally just reread all of God of High School completely out of order. Like, read from the Ragnarok arc all the way to the end, and then started at the beginning again and caught up to the Ragnarok arc. I'm weird. I don't know why I do the stuff like this. So I did reread like all the Shibuya arc, and what Kenjaku explains in that arc is that like he had these cursed objects be like implanted into people, just like with Yuji, and they also. So I guess like my thing is, are all these people like Yuji's that are now taken over by the beings from 400 years ago or 1,000 years ago or so on and so forth? Like, Yuji is physically strong enough, at least that's how Kenjaku explained it. Yuji is physically strong enough to actively suppress Sukuna. Like, just hold that boy down. Even though that man's a whole demon, quite literally, he's physically able to hold it back. But is this person, like, whoever the person who knows Sukuna, are they like a person that was actually another human being that's just been taken over by the cursed object they were forced to ingest, or what? Like, I'm not exactly sure. I'm assuming it's that. I feel like that's the only logical explanation there is, but at the same time, it seems kind of interesting. And I wonder, like, how many people from that ancient time period are reincarnated on some like Edo Tensei type beat. Like, y'all know Naruto. At least I'm assuming y'all know Naruto. It's pretty popular if I do say so myself. But you know, the Edo Tensei kind of thing. It feels like that, except these are like actual flesh human being bodies. So I'm wondering, like, what's the dealio here, and how many were there? I think Kenjaku said like 100 malevolent Yuji Itadoris. So I'm assuming that's a majority of the culling game players. But I don't know. This seems super interesting, especially considering who could have been revived. Because like, imagine if Kenjaku made a deal with the previous Limitless user. I doubt it would have happened, but still, imagine if you made a deal with that, and when Gojo pops out, he has to fight the original one. And say for Megumi to finally like attain Mahorga, he has to go against the original 10 Shadows user that ended up killing the other 6 Eyes user. Like, I don't know. I feel like the potential didn't hit me while I was initially reading the Shibuya arc of like how many characters could show up and what their powers could be and stuff like that. It didn't initially hit me, but seeing this character right now who's asking about Sukuna, dude who's over 1,000 years old, I'm actually really interested to see where we could go from here. And they add the rule, obviously to serve their own ends, of getting all the players' information. So we know that this person is going to be coming after Yuji, who technically counts as Sukuna because of what Yuji is. Yuji is sort of like, is it? Let me think. What's a good way to put it? Yuji is like a car, and Sukuna's driving. No, Yuji is a self-driving car. Like Sukuna, if he really, really needs to, if he can catch the car lacking, he can take control of the wheel. But at all times, the passenger inside the car that's known as Itadori is Sukuna, and thus Kogane recognizes him as Sukuna, and thusly, I'm assuming Kogane's information system will allow this person to recognize Yuji as Sukuna. So he's probably going to pull up on Yuji eventually, which is actually kind of works out considering the end of the chapter. They do want to go on the hunt. They do want to hunt down this being so they can add a rule. And the interesting thing is that this person, Hajime Kashima, is going to be on their list, and also Higuruma. And when I review chapter 159 sometime soon, you'll see my thoughts on him. But I'm actually super intrigued to see this one person, how strong they are, and like what they're going to be able to do on this next level, especially against Sukuna. Like, especially for this person that knows Sukuna from the past. I'm assuming Kenjaku hasn't like repeatedly incarnated Sukuna, and like they've just constantly been blown up and going other places. But I do think it's entirely possible that this person could keep up with, now I'm being a little bit crazy, a 20-finger Sukuna. Like, if this person's confident to like pull up on Sukuna at all, I'm assuming they're only referring to like a 20-finger one. So are we gonna see someone on that level like this soon? Like, we know they're being technically, we've already seen on that level. You can definitely imply someone like Gojo's on that level, considering how much hype he has and stuff, like how the mangaka has been hyping up Gojo and stuff like that, and saying he's like literally the revival of the golden age of Jujutsu sorcery, but even worse, stuff like that. But I don't know, other than that, and maybe like Yuta, who's been hyped up to like possibly be able to approach those Gojo levels of insane strength, this would be the first person that could like stand on that godly tier, possibly superior to a majority of the verse, especially considering they're casually going around murdering people. Like, they are murking people like crazy. So I'm really excited to see them in action in particular. Like, Hajime, don't disappoint me. I can tell you got that menace mentality. However, we also, coming back to the plot, sorry, I went into like full theory speculative, super excited mode. The other thing to note is that they're essentially going to figure out how to like bend the rules to add a rule so they can get Megumi's sister out of the game. And by doing that, what their plan is to hunt down someone who already acquired 100 points so they don't have to get their hands dirty killing a bunch of people, and thusly they will end up getting that person who they capture or manipulate or whatever into adding a new rule to the game that essentially allows the transfer of points, and they'll transfer enough points to Megumi's sister so they can kick Megumi's sister out of the game somehow, like spend points to get out of the game, which is interesting because I wonder if in that case what stops a person who was in the game to just go and kill that person. Like, I mean, I guess the person could hypothetically leave the colony they're in, and maybe once you enter, no, I think, yeah, it's confirmed. Once you enter a colony, you're not allowed to leave it. So maybe that's the only way Megumi's sister can be like clean confirmed, but I feel like that has to be like they're standing on the border, she makes the new rule, you spend some points to get out of there, and dips instantaneously, because I don't know, I feel like she'd still get jumped. But yeah, this is honestly a chapter that definitely is all build up. It's all like we're connecting ties, connecting pieces, and we're moving on to the next steps of the plan. Recruiting Hikari is done. Convincing Hikari is done. Now we just have to put the plan into action, and we have to witness the gang like gather up all these resources, whether those resources be points from other people or people themselves. In the case of Harumi, in case of Harumi and Hajime. So I'm interested to see what Harumi will be like, considering I'm assuming they're going to be on the hunt for Yuji actively. They're going to be the ones hunting down Yuji directly. Meanwhile, I feel like they're going to be the ones going after Harumi, considering Harumi, especially after next chapter, doesn't care. But we'll get in next chapter review. I was going to initially combine the two, but I was like, Chapter 158 and Chapter 159 is such different narratives that I feel like it'd be kind of inappropriate to combine the two, because I would literally shift into an entirely different character role, or like literally character analysis. But enough of that. I think this chapter is really, really solid. I Like I said, I'm impressed with what Akutame Sensei managed to do to me in such a short time. I really do love Hikari, this little mad of a character. I do love learning more and more about the culling game, even if at first like some of these rules are still catching me lacking every single time I reread them. I love getting a better understanding of it. I like Kogane and how they introduce themselves into this world and how they're like act as the guide for everybody while at the same time being like a really cool cursed smartphone for some reason. Like, they're pretty darn wild. I love the implications of beings as powerful, or like, who knows, I may just be like wanking this person. They may have been body bagged by Sukuna in the past, but they fought Sukuna and are actively hunting him now. So I don't know. I feel like this being could be hyped up. Hajime could be a menace. We don't know. It also got me hyped up for all the possible Edo Tenseis that could possibly appear from the long time ago. I'm just excited overall. This chapter did a great job of hyping me up. Please tell me what you guys think about this chapter in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.